Righty. Okay, so hi everyone. Rebecca McKay here to discuss and answer questions about the Idaho Talking Book Service, also known as TBS. We are located downtown Boise, right by the Capitol building, and we provide audiobooks for all eligible Idaho residents. For tonight, I'm going to provide an overview of who we are, who we serve, and what you can do to help eligible parties apply for and utilize our service. Okay, so some talking book basics. We are a free service that's run through the National Library Service for the Blind and Print Disabled, also known as NLS. NLS was established by the Library of Congress in 1931 for blind adults. It wasn't until 1966 that eligibility was extended to the physically handicapped and the reading disabled. Idaho joined the Talking Books program in 1973. Currently, all 50 states are being served by a Talking Books program, as well as DC, Puerto Rico, and the Virgin Islands. Wyoming and Alaska are the only two states without a local facility, and they rely on the Utah Talking Books to provide them with materials. Our current catalog has over 115,000 audiobooks and over 70 magazine titles, and those are both local and national magazines. And we have hundreds of books being added every month. The Idaho Talking Book Service is housed within the Idaho Commission for Libraries, and we work very closely with them to spread talking books to public libraries and schools. We also work closely with the VA, the Idaho Commission for Blind and Visually Impaired, as well as the Idaho School for Deaf and Blind. The reason I'm here is because we realized our outreach is missing a huge demographic of eligible users, namely Idahoans with a reading disability. Now, there are two main types of service through TBS. We have a physical digital player specifically designed by NLS that we mail free matter to your home. And we also have BARD, or the Braille and Audio Reading Download system, which is very similar to Audible that you can use on any computer or smart device. So before I go on, I do want to share a short introduction video that goes over our service in Idaho. I'm going to make sure I'm still sharing and take you with me.
Reading is an enjoyable activity.
Can everybody see my screen still? Double check.
Reading is an enjoyable activity for many people, but for others, a reading disability makes it a struggle. The Idaho Talking Book Service, or TBS, is a free library service that loans audiobooks and magazines to any Idaho resident who is blind, has a perceptual or reading disability, or is unable to read standard print due to a visual impairment or physical disability. Dyslexia is a qualifying condition for the TBS. There are a number of authorities who can certify someone to utilize the TBS, including a medical professional, librarian, educator, school psychologist, school superintendent, certified reading specialist, and others. Signing up for the TBS is easy. Visit libraries.idaho.gov/TBS for more information and the application form. The service can be set up and customized to meet the needs of the TBS patron. For example, they can choose to receive books by certain authors and/or genres. They can increase or decrease the number of titles received, and much more. The Talking Book Service is very convenient for TBS patrons and their family members or caregivers. The cartridges containing the books or magazines are sent at no cost to and from the user's residence. Returning a cartridge is as simple as using the provided mailing card and putting the case containing the cartridge in outgoing mail. All materials are sent free matter via the U.S. Postal Service. Several books can fit on one cartridge, and the checkout period is 6 months. There are more than 100,000 book titles and about 70 magazines in the TBS collection. Titles include fiction and non-fiction in a wide range of genres and are available in other languages in addition to English. There are also books with an Idaho theme or connection, which are produced locally by the staff and volunteers of the Idaho Commission for Libraries. The player for the audiobook cartridge is easy to use, with large, distinctly shaped buttons. The player comes with a power cord, and it contains a rechargeable battery, so listening to books outside or in the car, for example, is convenient for patrons. Headphones are available for use with the player. Plus, some wired earbuds are compatible with the TBS player. Titles can also be downloaded to a computer via the Braille and audio recording download known as BARD. There is also a BARD mobile app that can be used on a smart device, including iOS, Android, and Kindle. Titles downloaded through BARD have no checkout period. The titles stay on the patron's device until deleted. For assistance or more information about the Idaho Talking Book Service, contact a TBS Customer Service Representative or CSR. They are available Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Mountain Time. The CSRs provide personal service for TBS patrons and/or their family members or caregivers. If you or someone you know has a perceptual or reading disability, including dyslexia, check out this free, convenient audiobook library service. The Idaho Talking Book Service brings the love of reading to thousands of TBS patrons throughout the Gem State.
Alrighty, so that video is available. See, I know I was going to do that. I was going to stop sharing the second I exited out. Get back on. All right, that is available on the Idaho Commission for Libraries YouTube. I can definitely share the link if you'd like in the chat afterwards, or you can access it through the ICFL's website. All right, so there have been several exciting changes to the TBS program in the last couple of years. Before 2019, Idahoans with a reading disability had to be certified by a medical doctor, which took so much time and effort on the patron's part. But now, as that video stated, a teacher, social worker, librarian, counselor can certify, making the application process faster and so much more convenient for the patron. Also, in 2019, the US joined the Marrakesh Treaty. This treaty provides for the exchange of accessible format books across international borders by organizations that serve the print disabled. The treaty was adopted in 2013 by the World Intellectual Property Organization to address the widespread problem known as book famine. This is a situation where few books were published in formats that are accessible to those who are print disabled. On February 8th, 2019, the United States became the 50th member, and the treaty came into force in the United States on May 8th, 2019. What this means is we are now expanding titles in Spanish, French, Arabic, Chinese, and many other languages, with dozens of titles being added every month, foreign language titles being added every month. We have also recently updated our online application, which I'm going to show you in a moment. We now accept electronic signatures, meaning you can sign up students and have them downloading books on BARD in less than 24 hours. And lastly, in 2020, Idaho switched to the Scribe system, meaning we custom make every cartridge that goes out with multiple books for each patron. For instance, we can fit the entire Harry Potter series on one cartridge for multiple patrons at a time. There is no waiting on other patrons to finish with a book, and you also have fewer cartridges going in the mail. So instead of 10 cartridges, each one with one book, you have one cartridge with 10 books that you can then hold on to for up to 6 months. This came in extremely handy during the COVID lockdown. Our patrons were able to stock up on books at a time when they couldn't access other forms of entertainment. So I'm going to sneak you guys over to the website. Let's make sure I'm still sharing the correct screen. Right. Here we go. So this is our website. It's located on ICFL's website. It's a simple Google search. Idaho Talking Books, we're the very first option. And this main page, we go over what kind of service we provide. There's also this brief little video, this blue box. That's another video that NLS has created that is it's pretty similar to the one I just showed you. It's a little dated. They haven't made a new one in a while, but it can still be worth a watch if you'd like to. But the button we're interested is right here, the Apply for Talking Book service, this middle orange button. And it's going to take us right down here. This just goes over again who's eligible, all the different ways that you can be eligible. And then we have several different applications. So we have this individual application in English. We also have it in Spanish. And then we have an institutional application and a school application. Institutional is for care facilities, hospitals, public libraries, so they can apply and have a test player that they can then keep in their area to then show prospective patrons. Same with the school application. A certain teacher can be in charge and on the account, and you can keep a physical player in your classroom to show students that may be interested in the service. So this individual application, it is 100% fillable PDF, and you can download it, fill it out, and email it to us. And that's why we mean that you can start downloading in less than 24 hours. As long as we're emailing back and forth, we're all good. The first page, basic contact information. We do require an alternate contact. This second page is the eligibility. So you would just mark whichever it is that makes your patron eligible. And then down here, we accept this gray box. By filling this out, we no longer require a physical signature. By filling out all this information, we accept it as certified and can begin processing. The next page, what type of service? Maybe it's the first one with Bard. Maybe we're doing the audio player. Maybe we're doing both to see which one works best for the student. There's a few other more options. We have a newsletter, we have catalogs you can order from, all those different options. We work closely with the Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired. So we do email them and have them reach out. And then a patron signature right here. Again, easy to type in and send in. This last page is reading preferences. This isn't really necessary if you're going to use Bard, it's because you're going to be downloading whichever books you want. But if you do have the physical player, this is a great page to let us know reading level, what type of genres, if there's authors. We have several sacred texts that we send out, and then you can also exclude subjects that you need to. So that's the application. So again, this can be printed and filled out, mailed in with the US Postal Service. It is all mailed free matter. You just write that in the top right corner in lieu of a stamp, or you can download it and email it to us. Once again, hello everyone. I just wanted to see your faces. This is great. All right. So if you don't want to do online, that is totally fine. It's very easy for us to send a stack of applications that you can keep on hand and that you can then mail in or fax in. All the different forms of contact are on that top of that application form. We also have pamphlets, bookmarks, postcards, anything you want to keep on hand. We're just a phone call away and we can mail it to you right quick. Or you can mention it in the chat and I can send it to you tomorrow, whichever works best. So I do want to take a moment to discuss Bard because Bard is very popular with our younger patrons. You can use it on a PC, Android, iOS device. There are no due dates. It's unlimited download and you control what you download and when. So we're going to pop over to the Bard site. And this is the PC version. The app version is very similar. Looks like this. This is also Googleable. You can also Google this if you'd like. However, when our patron indicates that they want to use Bard, we send an email with all the links and we walk you through how to sign up, where to go, click this link. And that it can again happen as quick as an email is sent. So you can be downloading that day. But you log in with whichever email you signed up with. Just want to make sure you guys are not with me. So here we go. Everybody see my website? Sorry about that. So here is Bard. Here is the Bard site. I'm still on the login page. I'll go ahead and log in. And this is where you would search for books. So we have our recently added, our most popular titles. Since I mentioned Harry Potter before, we're going to stick with it. You can choose what language you'd like to search in. Here are all the other languages that I did not list before because there are a lot. It's a little fun, which is fun to go through and see what we have available. So we'll go ahead and just do English and see how quick my Wi-Fi is tonight. Wonderful. So we have about 23 titles related to Harry Potter. It's organized alphabetical by titles. We have Chamber of Secrets first. The reason we have 2 Chamber of Secrets is because NLS actually used their own narrator and created their own version of it for our collection before they received the rights to the commercial audio, which is the popular narration by Jim Dale, which is the one that I grew up listening to. So there's 2 to download it. You click this button right here, download Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets. It goes right into a file on your computer, which you would then move over to a cartridge. We provide the cartridge, we provide the USB cord, and then you can use your physical player to listen to it. So that is the Bard site. Gotta keep you guys on your toes. Okay, here we go. Even more convenient than the Bard site, here we go, is the Bard app. So this one, you can have up to 5 devices under your account. So you can have your phone as well as an iPad, your Android as well as a Kindle, your Kindle and your iPad, whatever you'd like. If we do have some people that they'll forget to sign out and they'll switch iPhones. And so then we have to go through and delete the original iPhone so that they can add it onto another one. But that's a very easy fix. And the Bard app is set up pretty much the same. This is how you browse. You search for Harry Potter. The only difference is here at the bottom of my screen, instead of saying download, it says add to my wish list. So we have this so that you're not downloading a bunch of books onto your device and taking up storage. Instead, you can add a bunch of titles to your wish list. And then when you go to your wish list, it looks just like this, not with these specific stories. Some of these are examples. I don't read these, but you go ahead and tap it, it begins download. And once it's ready to listen, this is the interface. And that's just by tapping on the title, it immediately opened this up. It looks just like the physical player. You still have the play button. You can adjust volume, speed, fast forward if you'd like. Very, very similar. Okay. So that pretty much sums up the Talking Book service. But before I finish up, I do want to share one resource that the Idaho Commission for Library provides. Since we specialize in audio and braille material, I wanted to mention ICL's newest project, which is IDEA. So the Idaho Digital eBook Alliance is a collection of ebooks and e-audio titles that are available to Idaho public and school libraries. There are more than 23,000 titles for children, juvenile, and teen readers. This collection was created for K through 12. Students access IDEA via the Overdrive apps like Libby and Sora. And there's a special font that you can enable that makes it easier to read. So school districts do have to sign up to access IDEA, and to find more information or see if your school district is already signed up, you can visit the libraries.idaho.gov/IDEA. All right, thank you so much for your time. I know I just threw a lot of information at you. There were a lot of different sites that I showed. But I'm happy to answer any questions and share any links. Here is my contact information. Like I said, we're located in Boise. That's my direct line, my email. But you can reach me just by calling the Idaho Talking Books number or talk to any of those other customer service representatives that were listed in the video. Go ahead and stop share. And thank you very much.
This is great information. I wish I'd known about it sooner, because I know there's a lot of children that would love to be able to do this. I like the ability to slow the reading down, so that if you have a younger one that's trying to read along, you can do that. I mean, that's kind of a neat feature.
Yeah, slow down. You can also mess with the tone. So if the pitch is a little off, you can also deepen the tone or do anything like that. There's also that sleep button, which is very popular with some of our patrons. And it basically just sets a timer on your book. So if you do it right before you go to bed, press it once and you get 15 minutes and then it'll pause so you don't lose your place when you fall asleep. So yeah, there's a lot of other different things with that player that I didn't show you, but, but that's the little moon is the sleep button.
Yeah.
Pretty cool.
So please, if you have a question, just unmute yourself.
So I have a couple of questions.
Yeah.
So I teach in a self-contained classroom. So if I understood you right, I can put in an application for my whole class. Like I have 7 students, because I want to set up a listening station where they can go and take a book and sit down and listen to it, or just listen to it, read to them. And so it would be shared with my whole class.
Yes, you can. So you technically wouldn't be signing up your class, your students. You would be signing up yourself. You would be the person on the account and the one responsible for everything. But yes, you would have one for your classroom, and that you could keep there. And then if any of your students wanted their own to take home, then you could very easily sign them up so that you can get their own player.
So can I download these books onto their iPad, or onto an iPad, or just the phone, because I don't have a computer access for them, but they do have iPads.
Yes, you can do the iPad. The only tricky thing with the iPad is if you're doing it under your school account, you can only do up to 5 devices. So if it's their personal iPad, is that correct? Or it's their iPad that they only use in the class?
They all each have an iPad. They each have one.
But they can take home and everything, or?
They can, but only if we are online. Like this week, we are out of school and online, which doesn't really work with my students. But yeah, we're online this week, which really is no education at all. But if they had some books they could listen to on their iPads at home, that would be really nice for them.
Yes, you definitely can. It would be under your account. So that's where, because it's only up to 5 devices, that's the only thing I'm worried about, is if you have more than 5 students, you might have to sign them up individually.
Okay. Well, I have one student that doesn't really do an iPad. She's not capable of that. She's too, but anyway, but yeah, we could work that out. Yeah, because I have one student whose mom would probably want to. He's a little boy with Down syndrome, and she would probably want to sign him up to be able to have the books just individually. So I would talk to her about that.
Perfect. Yeah, and then just fill out the application, email it in, and then we can get that all set up on an iPad very easily. And then he would be able to use it on personal iPad and the one at the school. He would just need to log in.
Awesome. Okay, that would be good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
How does that acceptance process work? Because my son has been diagnosed with dyslexia, and we've set it all up in a 504. I have no problem getting that through. But if I have a student that I know is dyslexic, but because we're in Idaho, they're not going to be tested unless the parents do it, but they need the services regardless. Is there a way I can help them navigate that outside of being diagnosed?
Absolutely. So that's when we changed our certifying authorities. So we said the best people who know who needs a service are the teachers, are the counselors of librarians who are working with these people day in and day out. So you are the certifying authority. We would accept your signature on the application, and that's it. So send that in to us. We would call whoever the contact is, or the parent is, confirm, are we doing BARD? Are we doing physical? What are we doing? And that's it. We make it as easy as possible. Yep.
No, that's really great. Because I know in the past I've worked with a couple of like national programs like this, and it's not that easy. So that's
Yeah.
great.
And it wasn't that easy before. I mean, it used to be you had to have a medical doctor, and we just said, this is ridiculous. I mean, it takes weeks to get an appointment, and the teachers know. So let's just listen to the teachers.
Right. So what about outside of school? Like, for instance, my grandfather, I spend a lot of money buying large print books for him. Is there an option, like, would he just need a vision? I mean, what would qualify him? Just a vision test?
Yeah, a vision test. You can go to his optometrist. You can go to his local public library and have a librarian sign. The only rule we have is it can't be a family member. So that is our only issue. I had one patron who the husband was the optometrist, and I said, I'm so sorry, you can't sign for your wife. Like, I understand you are a professional, but we can't do a family member. And that is our only rule.
Okay, so anybody that can verify that he is visually impaired, I guess. That's not-
Yes, yeah. Anybody who sees that he's struggling with large print books can sign. And if he talks at all with the Commission for the Blind and Visually Impaired, they can certify.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, I have a question. So, so for my students with specific learning disabilities in reading, I can see that I could certify that, or I could vouch for that. What about my students that maybe don't have that aren't SLD, maybe under the OHI category, probably ADHD, and it does impact their reading? Is that also allowable, or does it need to be a reading disability?
It looks like she froze, but
I think so.
Yeah, from what I've heard and talking with her earlier, I would say, yeah, if you're a teacher and you notice that a student is struggling, then
Okay.
yeah, you can certify them.
Okay.
There she is.
I'm so sorry. My computer just died. Oh my goodness. Okay. Sorry.
Yeah, Lori, why don't you ask your question again?
I just wanted to make sure that as a teacher, I could is certify, is that the right word, or vouch for any
Yes.
students that wanted to apply if they weren't specific learning disability, if their disability category was OHI and maybe they were ADHD under OHI, but it impacted their reading, and some it significantly does.
Mhm.
And they may well have dyslexia in there too. It just hasn't been,
Right. Yes.
officially teased out, but I'm serving it.
Yes.
So,
Completely
okay, so that is
accepted.
okay too.
Yes, absolutely. We are trusting your judgment. This
Okay.
student is struggling with reading. Let's get them access to audiobooks.
Perfect.
Mhm.
Okay, thanks.
Does it go down to preschool?
It does, yes. Those are adding. We're definitely trying to fill in that part of the catalog. But yes, we do have quite a few preschool level books. All the popular titles. It's been very fun going through. When I was at the public library, I worked a lot in the kids section, so I'm recognizing all the authors. Very fun.
Great. Yeah. I think this is a great opportunity, and I encourage you to put your name and address in the chat. So I guess Rebecca would have to write down real quick so you can get it out.
I will copy and paste. I've got a mic, whatever it's called. Oh my goodness. Word, Microsoft Word. Yes. I'm very flustered right now. I just ran to the other room to get a charging cord.
Well, I'm flustered with Microsoft Word because I'm losing my Office 365 and I have to either pay or find something else, and we're going with the something else, and I sure hope it works.
Perfect. So what I'll essentially do is send you just a little box kind of mixed in of the different materials, the pamphlet, the application, some envelopes you can use, and postcards, our number. We really do. We have a lot of things. I won't overburden you, but just a small little package.
You can overburden me because I work with a lot of districts.
Sounds good. You're getting everything then, Kim.
Yeah, give me everything and I'll
Okay.
spread it out across the state.
Is there a way to tell if our school is already, if somebody at our school is already signed up?
We're talking books? Yeah,
Yeah.
actually, I can, let me open it real quick and I can look it up for you. No problem.
Is this something that's on the website or?
It's not, I'm just
Oh, okay.
opening up my,
Oh, okay.
yeah, unfortunately, we don't have it online, like with Idea, with the ebooks.
Yeah.
That is online.
Oh, is it? Okay.
To see if your school district, and that's by school district, not by school. We would go by school.
Oh, okay.
Let's see. All right, Lori, what school is it?
Lakeside Elementary in Plummer.
Yeah, you're the school that we were talking about today when we're working with the Coeur d'Alene Tribal School.
Yeah.
Like, what you guys?
Yeah. I don't know if it's just because of COVID pandemic, but we really haven't had much interaction. At least I haven't, but with the tribal school. So I would like to get to know people over there too.
So Lori, I do have Lakeside in our system, but it's with Family Read Week.
I'm sorry?
So it's with Family Read Week. So ICFL uses our program to keep track of that.
Who does?
The ICFL, so the Commission for Libraries, one of their programs is Family Read Week.
Oh,
So
okay.
technically, we do have you in our system. We just don't have you as a player.
Okay, but I could still sign
Absolutely.
up so that I have it available in my classroom.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. You can just give me a call and we'll get your contact information in there and then mail you a player.
Okay, I'll put it in the chat. And it could just apply online though, right? Or do we need?
Well, no, because you're actually already in the system, so no, you don't need an application.
Oh,
So
okay.
They already got you covered. Somehow, it says Dana. Or Dana's the
Dana.
contact on it, which it looks slightly old. So we don't.
There were some years with big turnover, I've heard. So okay. Okay, if I just put my name and my contact info in the chat.
Yes, and then
Okay,
I
I'll
will
do
make
that.
a note. And,
Okay.
and I can give you a call tomorrow if you'd like, or
yeah, or email. I can't promise I'll be able to answer.
Sounds good.
I kind of
Email's
hit the
easy.
ground running and missed some key emails I didn't see until 4 o'clock. Oops. One of those days.
Happens to
So,
the rest of us.
yeah.
My feeling with the principal was if it's that important, see me in class, person to person, not emailing me, because I will not look at it except for that lunch and after school.
Yep.
He learned. She wanted me, better come get me.
Right.
So I just have another question with Carol again. So if I understood what you were just telling her, I would apply for my classroom, but my librarian would apply for herself or for the school for her to use this system through her library. Can our librarian do that? Because I know there's other kids at our school who have dyslexia and issues and things like that, and to have that available at the school, because I mean, we're a small school. And so sometimes to get the variety of books that they can read and then, I don't know, just wondering what that would be.
Yes. So what we would do is we would probably have both of you on as contacts in our system. And then with Bard, you'd use your own emails. so that you could have separate BARD emails if she was interested in BARD.
Okay,
But if she was just interested in having the physical player, then we can send one with her name on it, and then we could send one with your name on it as well. So we can check out 2 players.
okay. Yeah, I missed some of your information about BARD because I was getting out of the car.
Right, no problem.
And so I missed some of that information on BARD, but that's okay. I can listen to this recording and get it. So I'm not really all that worried.
Yes, yeah, BARD is, you do have to apply after you've applied with Talking Books, because BARD is technically a program. I mean, we're both programs through NLS, but once we've approved you, then you apply for BARD. NLS will email us saying, hey, do you know who this is? Are they legit? We say yes, and then you're approved in BARD. But they have their own tech experts, so that's why it's separate from Talking Books, but not separate. We're
Thank you.
parallel
That
programs.
that makes perfect sense. Thank you.
Okay, we're good. That's good. Perfect, Lori. Yeah, Lori, I'll just send you an email just to confirm what we're
Great, thank
sending.
you.
It'll be easy.
Thanks. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. This was super helpful.
Oh, good. You're
Yeah.
trying to spread the word. It's really unfortunate how few people know about us, and we
Yeah.
do try to be convenient, but
I was just recommending to a parent in an IEP meeting to try, the app Get Epic. There's a little free content, but then after that you have to pay. And so
right.
this is, yeah, really
Yes,
good.
and we do really customize it. I have one patron who she emails me maybe every other week. Her daughter is currently going through all the American Girl books. And so I just get an email being, okay, we're ready for the next one. So I'll just send it out, and it really is.
Well, and that list, and just hearing the book and tracking the story is so good, because a lot of them will have the text to speech accommodation for their ISATs, and just being able to take the verbal input and organize it and then be able to use it.
Yeah, that's why I did recommend IDEA as well, because unfortunately we don't have any. I mean, the only print we have is Braille, which isn't very useful in this context.
Oh, okay.
So that's why the IDEA is nice, because you can get those ebooks or any.
Oh,
any
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's all just audio.
It is okay, but that's still helpful when you.
Yeah, they are all mostly commercially produced, so they will match the book. It's not like we
Okay.
have some random person reading.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Okay.
Any other questions? Oh, Rebecca, this was fantastic. I think we just need to get the word out to all the schools and all the teachers. So when I get my little box, I'll start spreading it across Highway 55 and Highway 95.
That would be lovely. Thank you. And thank you for letting me come here and speak. That was wonderful.
So last chance for questions. Otherwise, I'm going to say good night. And if any of you are interested in receiving credit for watching these videos, it's with NNU, and just look for Decoding Dyslexia Idaho Spring 2022 webinars. Or you can email me. I'll stick it in the chat real fast. So it's kmzadel@gmail.com. And you can email me, and I'll send you the information as to what the code number is for the course. And you can do it watching all the recordings. So, all right. Thank you, Rebecca.
Yes,
And
thank you.
we will see you guys again on the first Wednesday of the month. And our next speaker is, hang on, I will tell you. It's going to be Lacey Watkins, who teaches up in the Moscow School District. She's a Title I reading and math interventionist, and she's going to do, her topic is finding fun and structure in learning to read. So that's March 2nd. So hopefully you guys can make it to that one, or at least sign up and then watch the video.
Okay.
Thank you.
Perfect.
Thanks.
Thanks, Kim. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
Thank you. It was very informative.